I'm India Brown,
And I'm Sydney Wilson.
and we are two Southern gals making it in the big city world where we both work on a Broadway show.
And this is our podcast, Social Cues, a show where we put away our show scripts and stage blocking.
And have real conversations about how it feels being professional performers in a lucrative industry.
One topic at a time.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm Sydney.
I'm India. Welcome back to Social Cues.
This is our podcast.
Yes,
We're
indeedy.
deep in season 1.
Yeah,
Almost
we are
over,
really
I
deep
feel like.
into it,
Yeah,
aren't we?
we have some really cool things
Yeah.
in store. But yeah, I feel
It
like
has been
overall
lovely.
this season has been a great
Solid.
starting off point. Like it's only up from here. So.
Yeah, definitely solid stuff. Definitely some stuff you can walk away with. Like you learned, you loved, you laughed. Like so corny, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, today we're just chilling. We're
Yeah.
just gonna answer some questions that we've gotten in from some of you listeners. I guess first and foremost, how you feeling? How you
I'm
doing?
good. Summer's coming to a close, but I'm really excited for fall. Like this
Yeah.
cool weather. This like we'll do our last little shindig, I guess, on Labor Day, and then we'll be smooth sailing like
That's
into
it.
the
Into the
cool
fall
weather.
season.
I'm ready for the outfits. I'm ready for the neutrals, like all of that.
Listen, I'm already.
I know
sick.
you're giving
Like,
cardigan.
'cause earlier today it was giving like
It's
fall
cold.
weather. It's a little
Yeah,
chilly. So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm already excited because it is my favorite season of the year. So
Oh, it is.
yeah, it is. Well, my birthday's also in that season too.
Oh, okay,
It's in
yeah.
October, so I guess like naturally.
I feel like that's a thing, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
feel like one of my favorite seasons. My favorite season is spring,
Yeah.
but my birthday is April, so it's not most of the time. Most of the time, it's
Technically
still
that's spring.
it is, but it's always still like cold and rainy. Like it almost always rains on my birthday. Like
really?
spring doesn't really happen until like late May.
Even where you're from, like Virginia.
Yeah. It
Girl, it
normally
be hot
always
all
rains.
darn near all year long in
Mm-mm.
Georgia. So,
But I
Aw.
love that. But it's the same transit. I think I like those transitionals, which is why I like fall
Yeah,
too,
you
because
get
it's
like
kind of
a
like
full 4
like
seasons.
yeah, like the cool mornings, and you kind of get
Yeah.
warm in the afternoon, and then you're kind
Yeah.
of back settling in for a
Yeah.
nice breeze in the
I
evening.
prefer that too. Like people always ask, like, would you prefer living on the West Coast or the East Coast, like
Mhm.
LA versus New York? And honestly, most people say, "Oh, I want to go on the West Coast because it's
Uh-huh.
sunny all day, every day, all year long." But honestly, I'm
Mm-mm.
like, no, I kind of
I
like
like
living
the
in a place where you
seasons.
experience all 4 of the seasons.
Yeah.
Like I don't want too much of anything. I don't want
Yeah.
it too cold all year or too hot.
Right. You need
yeah.
balance.
So, right.
All right.
Well, girl, the natural hair is back, so
Oh,
the
yes.
summer is done.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
coming
locking
to a
in.
close, but it was
Yeah.
lovely. So we are ready
Yeah.
for the fall. I'm definitely ready for my lattes and
Mhm.
my layering and all
Cardigan.
types of cardigans and jackets.
Yeah.
So you guys, a few of you have chimed in with a couple of questions that you want us to answer, and these are fun because as performers, we get random questions. Like we do Q&As all the time at the theater after shows, just at random moments. They're not all the time, but yeah, they're pretty periodically. But yeah, these are kind of, it'll be designed in a way of like a regular theater going Q&A where we'll answer at random, any questions that you guys have. So
Yeah.
what's the
So
first
the first question is, what's your skin and hair care routine for performance maintenance? Which I think is really good because it's
Yeah.
kind of a spin-off like the Latasha episode.
Yeah.
She gave us a lot of knowledge, but we didn't really dive into our like specifics
Personal.
about
Mhm.
especially within the show and all that goes into hair and skin as far as like makeup and
Yeah.
the wig preps and the hair pieces. So yeah, what's your routine?
So, okay, to just getting in the shower for the day, what I do for my skin, I have really sensitive skin. So
Okay.
I actually try not to use too many products and too much stuff with like fragrance, right?
Mhm.
And that's another thing too, like piggybacking off the Latasha interview, like she mentioned how hair care products are just all over the place. There's
Yeah.
just so many options. Well, it's the same for skincare as well. Like you just get overwhelmed. You feel like you have to use every single thing, every serum,
Mhm.
moisturizer, wash.
Mhm.
But I don't. I actually, less is more is kind of what I lean into. So I start with Cetaphil face wash
Okay.
and get in the shower, come on out. Then I'll put on like a rose water toner, and then I will finish my face off with like some sort of face serum.
Mm.
I don't too much use retinol yet because I'm just not trying to claim old age.
Yeah. That's anti-aging, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My skin is still tight,
It's
so
snatched.
I don't think I need any of that. But just something for moisturizing,
Right.
just to seal some of the whatever it is I'm putting on my skin. So
Mm.
I'll use a serum, and then I'll use an SPF, some moisturizer with SPF 30 in it,
Mm.
and then I will seal it all up, lock it all up with what's it called? Kiehl's face moisturizer. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
called like Ultra Face Cream or
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what they give me or what I use at the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
They
I don't know
provide
if
that at the
y'all know, but
theater.
they at our show at least do provide hair, body wash,
Yep.
soaps. It's really, you can go
Honestly,
shopping,
you
take your
really could.
bags,
Like
because
you can go years without having to buy
buy a
hair
body wash.
products,
It's
face
a blessing.
products.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
it really
yeah,
is.
it's a
Body
blessing.
wash. Yeah.
So we
I
get
think
that.
they even provide no, they don't provide deodorants. No, they
No,
don't
no.
provide deodorants.
But we get wipes. They have like cotton rounds,
Mhm.
because you use so many different things, and
Yeah.
I think rightfully so, because our show specifically is not just a normal face like
Right.
of
So you're
makeup. It's
always
the
removing
paint
paint.
in
Mhm.
and out during the show, different colors, like
Right.
harsh colors and stuff
Right.
like that. And
Right.
they do tailored skincare too. So when I came
Yeah.
in and I was like, I have sensitive skin, they work, and they
Yeah,
keep
they
it
give
pretty
you a
simple.
consultation.
Yeah, and they
Right.
do different people get different products based on what their skin is going through. Like some
Right.
people get clearing serums and stuff. I've never gotten that because I don't
Yeah.
have cystic acne or
I
anything.
did because I used to get the dark spots. So
Mhm.
whenever I would have like a breakout, there would be a dark spot that would like the hyperpigmentation that
Yeah.
would follow. So yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I do love that about the makeup department. They
Mhm.
definitely do like a consultation and they like customize
They get the best of the
skin.
best. 'Cause
Yeah.
that Kiehl's and stuff is
Yeah.
expensive.
It is.
So
It is indeed.
it's really nice.
Right.
But
So fast forward, I get to the theater. Before I even put on my makeup, I put on a barrier, like some sort of
Okay.
face barrier, because like I say, I have sensitive skin. We are working with some really harsh paints and a lot of makeup, so I just don't want to pile all that stuff on my bare skin. So I'll put on the face barrier, do the show, we finish up. I use it's albaline. It's kind of like it looks like petroleum jelly. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure it's got petroleum jelly base somewhere in there. But I use that to remove my makeup because it just for me it gets it off perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very it's like
greasy.
yeah, it's
kinda.
greasy. It's
Yeah.
like petroleum jelly. But yeah, it does a trick. Like with all the heavy eye makeup and eyeliner and stuff, that seems to do the trick for me. So I'll use the albaline to remove my makeup.
Okay.
Then I'll go in and I'll use the Cetaphil face wash. I'll use 2 sets of face washes. I'll use the Cetaphil, and then I will follow it with the Checks and Balances. It's more of a cream-based face wash. Right. And so once I wash my face and come clean it up, dry it off and all that good stuff, then I'll use the Cetaphil lotion. Just the basic dermatology.
Yeah, like take it off
prescribed.
Walmart.
Yeah, like just really basic. Nothing from like the beauty counters or anything because it's just it doesn't agree
too
with
much.
my skin.
Yeah,
That's
I
too
think
much.
keep it simple, especially if you like my mom always told me, like if it's working for you, especially skin wise, keep it. Don't be, always trying to use something new because that stuff, especially with those fragrances, causes like it clogs, it causes like chemical burn even. Like you have to be really gentle because your skin already, especially as women hormonally, is going through a lot. So you're already randomly having breakouts. Even if you keep your hair and scalp and skin clean day to day, you still will get breakouts hormonally. So it's like 100%. Just try to keep stuff.
Less is more. That's always my motto. Yeah, keep it simple. So what's yours?
My routine. Okay, I don't wash my face in the morning. I know it sounds really bad, but I do not wash my face. But my skin doesn't need it.
Do you need to?
No, I'm like, people are always like, you don't wash. I'm like, I don't need to. I will like wake up, brush my teeth, whatever, and I wear.
Wait, so water does not hit your face at all?
It does. I do cold. I'll do like some cold
like
water.
A cleanse,
yeah,
like a rinse.
Like a cleanser. Yeah, but unless I like have a lot of stuff left over, I just while I'm like when my mouth or whatever I need to like rinsing my mouth after I brush my teeth, I just like take a big thing, and I only use cold water, like ice cold cold.
Yep.
And like it was hard at first, but now that thing's tight. I feel like it just brightens
it tightens
my skin.
And it seals your pores.
Yeah.
So whatever you put on, like it locks it in.
And my mom had noticed one time, because really how it started was I was tired after the shows and I didn't keep wanting to because our sinks are kind of like the extreme. So like if you turn on the hot, it's like burning your hands. But if you turn on the cold, it's like freezing. So I was trying to figure, I was spending so much time trying to get the right temperature and I was ready to be done. So I was like, I'm just washing it in cold and I'm gonna just leave. Amen. So then when my mom started, she was like, what are you doing? And that was like in the winter, like your skin should be like dry and dull, or normally people's is like dry and dull. And I was like, I haven't done anything different. I was like, oh wait, I've been washing my face with cold water at the end of the night and just running out because I'm already gonna be cold anyway in the New York winter. Like,
go ahead on the prep.
It's not that serious. So I was using that cold water. So I do that, and then I like get the stuff out of my eyes, whatever. Then I use a sunscreen. I use like any type of between like 30 or 50. I like the Black Girl sunscreen a lot. That's one of my favorite ones, and I honestly buy the kids version because it's cheaper and it's the same SPF 50. But they both are really good, and it's so moisturizing and like glowy. Like you still need a real moisturizer, but it like makes my skin like look like that glass. Now, I actually need to
look into getting that because I use the Aveeno, and if let's be honest, it kind of leaves like a white kind of residue.
Oh yeah, no white cast.
So I have to put the moisturizer.
Go to Target and get that. It is worth every penny. I've repurchased it. I don't even know how many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one is really good. So I always use that. I use like the Pond's like dry skin cream, like the most basic moisturizer. And I go about my day. And then at the show, I do my paint. I don't really put a barrier. I mean, I actually use like a petroleum jelly type of thing for like my stripe because sometimes it can bleach your skin. Yeah. And it started staining my skin to like an orange where like even on the day off, I would like be in the sun and I would like take a picture and I'm like, what is that? Like I'm seeing like a shadow of like the paint.
That's insane.
Yeah. But they give you different stuff for that too, like we talk about. So in the middle of the show at intermission, I have to wipe my whole face off because we do a number where we're humans and then we go back to being the animals. So I have to put it all back on. So I use like either any type of like wet wipe, or they give me these like spa towels, which is like a huge like wet wipe basically. So they smell good, like lavender, and just I unfold my little thing and I just wipe all my stuff off. And then at the end of the show, I use this. We have a lot of Kiehl's at the show. I use this Kiehl's. It's a blue bottle. It's like a face oil. And that is kind of like the Albolene. Like that just melts everything off. Yeah, it's called like night. It's called lavender maracuja something.
Come on.
It's really nice. So I do about 5 pumps of that and I just lather. And also that kind of goes to like what do they call oil cleansing? Like you know sometimes they've said like for your pores if they're clogged you do an oil massage and it like makes it like literally makes the stuff out of your like slide out of your pores. So I feel like that helps with that too. I know. So I rinse that.
It's the midnight recovery concentrate.
Oh no, that's like a serum they have, but it's a similar color. It's a dark blue bottle. It's like a look up like cleansing oil or something like that from Kiehl's, but it's that same color.
Oh, okay, I got you. Midnight Recovery Botanical Cleansing Oil.
I think so. Yes.
From Kiehl's.
Yes.
Got you.
That stuff is the bomb. That also smells good, like lavender. You just good for the end of your night. Like you did a show, you kind of do a little spa treatment.
Yeah.
I use that Origins Checks and Balances, that frothy like minty cleanser, and then they give me this thing from Dermalogica called Daily Microfoliant.
You know, I was using Dermalogica when I was breaking out pretty badly. So yeah, that actually it works really well, and less is more. Like you really don't even have to put nothing but like a dollop. A drop, and it really goes very far. I definitely swear by Dermalogica.
You're washing your face, and mine is like almost like sand but thinner. Like it's a very like fine like powder. Yeah. So you don't have to wet it. You just take your already wet like face and hands and just it like warms it, froths it up, whatever, exfoliates. And I feel like that has been helping with like that staining or anything that happens. But
okay, so Kiehl's, Dermalogica, look, we need a sponsorship, honey.
Come on, I need it.
We really support you,
and the show supports. But yeah, that and then moisturizer, the Kiehl's. I think I use the same whatever they give me from, I don't know, but it works. And then I go ahead and go home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And do you have like a nighttime routine or anything? Or
no,
from there
that's
you
my
just,
nighttime. That's what I do because that's so much.
Tight and right.
That
So going back to the cold water, I do the same thing.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you where I actually got the idea. Now I don't go as extreme as they did in this movie, but I got it from the movie Mommy Dearest.
I knew you were gonna say that. That ice.
I legit
see put her head in that bowl. Yes. I can't imagine because I
actually
barely
tried
put my
the
feet
ice
in a bowl of ice water.
I couldn't stand the ice like in the water, so I'm like, let me just do cold
water. But that's it's true.
It works.
It's really
so, thank you,
it
Mommy
brightens,
Dearest.
it tightens.
It
so,
does.
Yeah. Wait,
it
so
does.
okay, so especially for hair, I'm wondering, and y'all are probably wondering too, because we both collectively I feel like I've had like 10 different hair styles.
Yeah.
Just in
and then we rock 2 different textures on the regular. So okay.
So what's your hair? Because my hair, honestly, I have never worn it like this recently, but my hair used to always be a mini twist. So for my prep, all I would do is like put it up in a little bun and then just put a wig cap over it and it would stay and it would be fine.
It'd be just fine.
Now it kind of depends. Like
why?
Right now it's blown out. Well, if I have my hair natural, like out, I have to retwist it because it doesn't consolidate. It doesn't fit. It's too
it's all
fluffy.
The curls aren't cute anymore.
Yeah. So that tight. I basically will have to like flat or like retwist it, do chunky twists, try to kind of pin it like into itself. Right now it's like kind of like stretched, like blown out a little bit. So that is fine. I can kind of like wrap it around itself and kind of put a wig cap, but it all changes depending on like what role I'm doing. If I'm doing my other cover role, then that instead of being like the sides can be full, like for that one everything has to be slick and everything has to be at the crown of my head. So for this, like yesterday I just put it up in a big ponytail and just like looped it and just put a wig cap. So it always changes. But like you had braids, I have never been able to pull off any type of braids.
Girl, so here's why I'm blessed. I have a little bitty head.
Yeah, and I have a big head.
No shade to people with larger heads. Actually, I want a bigger head because I love hats, and literally no hat fits me unless it has the adjuster on.
Yeah, that's
so. Shout out to the big head folks. I actually want to be a part of your team, but whatever.
India,
I know, shady.
I want a bigger head. Actually, what?
Fit more of his knowledge in this head, No, I got a small head.
Okay,
and when I joined the show, I am below average head size. So mostly all of my puppet heads, they don't fit me. Like they have to add extra padding for my standard regular head to fit. So it actually works to my benefit when I add extra hair because it actually, opens it up and absorbs up most of it opens up the space. So that's how I can actually get away with some extensions sometimes. Now some I can't get like box braids because that's just and they definitely can't be too long.
Yeah, because
that'll be a little too much. But I can get away with like braids, weaves. I could probably throw
technically
a wig.
You did. You had the bob.
It was like a bob. I had to make sure it was a bob and nothing longer because what I would do, I would take a wig cap and I would cut it, and so it would just be the surrounding. Not the crown, but around the edges. I would pull my hair up into like a ponytail and then put that there, and then I would like lay it down. So, like kind of like you, like it had to be heavy at the top in the crown area. And if it was any longer, it would start getting into the sides. So can't do that. But like with my hair, I have relaxed hair. And it's usually either like about this length or shorter. So it's always pretty easy for me to prep it. But for me, because my hair is relaxed, it's more susceptible for breakage because when we use our wig caps, sometimes they can be a little softer, but just think like stockings, so they kind of tear at your hair. So what I do, I'll put a silk wrap cap, the ones that kind of like Velcro in, and then I'll put a silk or satin dome cap, which kind of goes on like a wig cap
tight.
So make sure everything that is touching my hair is satin or silk, and then I'll put the regular wig cap on top to kind of actually lock it all in with my mic, which goes over my head.
Well, have you always been relaxed?
No. Okay. I was relaxed when I first joined the show, and then midway in like 2015 I went natural for about 4 years.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth, and now I'm back to relax.
I think people are scared like you can't go back. If
no, you can go back.
You can grow it out natural, and then you can relax it all again.
Yeah, and I have really fine hair, so it's not even like I'm working with coarse, like thick hair.
Really thick, yeah. Because I was wondering, have you always done that? Like had that? Because I feel like too, a lot of times you don't know that we have those, or you can get those satin like wraps and skull
I did have to specially ask for it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So that was my question too. Is like, were you experienced, or had you ever experienced a great loss or a lot of breakage to be like, ooh, I need to change, or you always knew you needed like something?
No, I'm grateful to say that no, I haven't experienced it myself, but I've worked with someone who has. So just seeing their experience just kind of taught me. But as Black women, we already know to wrap our hair at night when we go to bed with a satin, something or a pillowcase. So I just brought that into anything that is covering my head, especially if it's like, rubbing at my head at any point. I knew that I had to protect it with something satin. Yeah. So I just kind of came in with that knowledge off the top.
That's
so
good.
What do? You do anything different, or you?
No, I should.
Well, with the caps, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using them the same. I mean,
we have dry caps.
I know, but it's hard because I feel that the satin ones aren't as tight, and I have a bigger head, and I have a lot of hair, and it's longer, so it's hard for me.
Do you put on more than one, or you just
I wear two. I normally put one, and then I lace my mic through, because also they don't like for the mics to get like oily or greasy by like putting it on your actual head.
Right.
So I normally put one on, lace the mic on top, and then lay the other one on top.
And it helps hold it in place.
But that's my only issue is like, even if I got a satin or a silk cap, it's not gonna be as tight and really lock that stuff in the way that because my hair just expands. If I can get it right, but only if I have those tight like dryer wig caps. But they are bringing softer ones in, which is good.
I can't agree with that. What I have experienced with my hair being relaxed, it is a little bit silkier. So if I only use just the satin dome cap and the satin wrap cap, it will like shift around and it won't be stable.
Which is like, I feel like it's just as bad kind of, because it's constant tension.
So it's good for tension, but not on your edges.
So we also, I know we're not supposed to do a lot of fragrances around people or at the shows, because people have allergies and not everybody wants to smell what you think smells good. But do you have any like particular ways that I guess in day to day, like when you jump out the shower, like, because I love like we were talking about petroleum jelly, like stuff like that, or aquaphors. Like I've heard that those things help to cling on to fragrance better, and I've been using that, and it's been working. Like today I went to the doctor and he was like, I got off the thing and he was like, oh, you smell nice, you mind if I ask what fragrance that is? And I'm like, oh, it's just such a and I'm like, wow, but okay, from Zara. Like,
wait a minute, okay, walk me through the regimen.
So I know we've
rub it on after you put on the perfume?
Before. So it's kind of like the layering, like we can get into it because I love some self-care and I love some like body scrubs, lotions, all that stuff. But how it works is like people go from the shower. So like they'll have like, let's just say lavender, lavender body, and then you have like a lavender body butter, like you have the body wash,
smell or something that's complimentary.
Sweets or like savory, whatever woody. Type of, So I know, which I think you had talked about, like when you get out of the shower, it's best because like
stay a little damp.
Because it really sinks in. But what I heard is you can either do like lotion, spray, and then oil, I think is the way you layer
lotion, then spray, then
oil. Or you can do like any type, because like the petroleum jelly and stuff like that is like a binder kind of, and it like so you can do that and then spritz on top, and that just makes it last longer, especially on like the pulse points.
Word.
And I did it today and he straight up said that to me as I'm walking out the doctor's office. And I was like, wow, like and it was like an exam, so I didn't even have like my clothes on, like I had like a gown, so he really smelled it like off really of my, I know, sorry, it sounds bad, but it's not. I wasn't naked. I was like, of course not. But it wasn't like it was clinging on my clothes, like he was smelling like actually off my body. Which I was like, okay, it works. I love that. I've never had that compliment before. Like people recently I've seen like about, are big on fragrance, and they're like, this is my most complimented scent. People follow me out the store. People follow me down the street, and I'm like,
that's the thing.
Nobody's ever done
I don't
that.
like it when people like overspray perfumes or whatever, but I do love it when like if I'm up on you and I can smell you and you linger.
Yeah, or like you walk past me and I'm like,
or
what
you
are you
just
wearing?
simply walk past.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of, I got this trick from somewhere from Instagram. I think it's actually Lavishly Jackie. So shout out
Jackie!
to her on Instagram. Yes, I love
Jackie,
her.
I know.
She was mentioning like, and granted, I was kind of doing this a little bit before, but I guess I never had put it into like a regimen form. Where she was saying like, like you say, like get in the shower, wash with something within like a complimentary scent that you want to go for the day, and then when you come out, you can dry off, but try to stay damp. Keep your skin like nice and wet. Not soaked, but just wet, and then you put on your fragrance, and then you put your lotion on like damp. So that kind of like seals it in. So it's kind of the same thing, just another route to take.
Yeah, but I think you can layer it either way. Like, but all that matters is that they are layered, because I feel like the layering is for some people. If your scent or whatever isn't that strong, the more you layer, the more the scent is like over your whole body.
So layer and linger, honey.
Layer, and they will be following you down the street.
Look, at the doctor's
office asking, what do you have? That was so funny.
What are you wearing?
He was nice. He was really nice. He was talking to me about work, and
but
he asked me that as I was walking out. I was like, sir.
You couldn't wait.
Sir, please.
Let me tell you the regimen that I use.
I know. I started taking him through my regimen. So yeah, speaking of regimens, what's your nutritional regimen? Like, if you have one, do you have one?
I low-key hate even talking about this because, the stereotype is, oh my God, you're a dancer, so you don't eat anything. Girl, I know you eat salads all day.
Not you.
Not me. So here's the rule of thumb that I live by. And I've say this, I feel like a lot on this podcast. Like, I am a small framed person, and I need as much fuel as possible when I'm doing like high intensity work. So I wouldn't say I eat whatever I eat whatever I want, but I'm not attracted to craziness all the time, fast food all the time, sweets all the time. And when I eat, I don't eat a huge portion at a time. Like, I truly eat several times a day. So my actual meals are small in portion, but I eat all day long. So in smaller snack sizes. And also when I'm snacking, and which could be a tip for somebody, instead of just eating out of the box or out of the bag, like chips or crackers or whatever you're eating, pour it onto a napkin. Like, I actually, like, I don't know, let's say if I'm eating granola, something, the little rounds, I'll actually pull out like 8 of them, so it limits.
Serving size.
Yeah, I do actual serving sizes. So I think that's what actually helps me, because obviously my metabolism runs pretty high because I'm smaller. Yeah. But I think that's what keeps me on a healthier lifestyle versus having a very specific diet. Yeah. Like I've mentioned before for the show, I like to eat a full meal, and I like to concentrate on something that is a well-rounded meal. So I have to have a vegetable, have to have some sort of kind of starch situation, gotta have a protein, something that'll really fuel me through this 2.5 hour show where I'm running, jumping, kicking, flipping, doing the most. But yeah, girl, I ain't got no special diet. I actually love French fries.
Yeah, there's some performers I feel like who really stick to that. Oh, and yeah. Not many people at our show that I know really
there are a couple of people who do have special diets. I know we have a few vegans. Okay. We have had vegetarians. And I actually mentioned this because what I've recognized in our industry, people aren't doing diets just to look cute or just to keep their figure. Like, people actually have to have diets because either their skin,
that's what I was going to say.
Offset, yeah. Or, their digestive system doesn't work properly, you know what I mean? Or vocally speaking, like, if it's just not conducive with their singing. Like some people cut like dairy or alcohol and stuff like that. So, I do find that people in the industry don't necessarily diet for the fad of dieting,
right?
But because actually it really is beneficial to their healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
to the maintenance of it all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I just feel like I kind of bounce back and forth. Like I feel that I'm a pretty healthy eater. Like
I think so.
Thanks. I've stepped away from like a lot of like chicken for whatever reason doesn't really agree with me. So I really not fully pescatarian, but I do more fish and like shrimp and seafood and stuff than anything. I love vegetables. Like I will always have a broccoli, a string bean, like something. Oh yeah. A little side salad.
I feel like low key that's a southern thing. Like our grandmas or something be cooking up some greens or beets or just something that this a vegetable that's really good for you. Like I really love vegetables too.
Yeah, I always have to have a vegetable. But I have a big sweet tooth and I
What's your favorite? Help it.
Anything chocolate.
Yeah.
Like chocolate, yeah. I like every day.
It's what's a gag to me? So I have a sweet tooth. I wouldn't claim to have a sweet tooth, but I eat sweets. But the funny thing is, I've been since being in a show, I've really been into candy. And it's only because candy is available at all the theater. Time.
Yeah.
At the theater. Yeah, right.
See, I'm still not like candy. If like I'll bring my own sweets. Like I'll have like some ice cream or like a cookie or something. Okay. But if I don't, my last resort is like go to the office and like go in the candy bucket like to get a little piece of chocolate.
But I find that I don't eat candy outside of the theater. Like I'm like,
me either,
girl,
because I'm not a big snack. Like even for snacks, like I'm not a chip person. I always do like popcorn or something like bag or like make my own. Like I'm not even like a big snacker.
Okay,
I feel like it's just that when I have a sweet tooth, like I'm gonna get a cupcake or something. Like
I wouldn't say I'm not like a snacker as in chips and popcorn, like stuff you pop in your mouth. I'm a sandwich kind of snacker. Like I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or like a chicken salad sandwich, like something that you can hold in your hand but not like pop in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like to go back off of saying like the sweet tooth. I wouldn't say I have a sweet tooth, but I am a sweet savory kind of person. So if I have something savory to eat, I have to follow something with something sweet.
That is a southern thing. Yeah. I need something sweet.
Gotta have
I feel like dessert. I need something sweet. That is such a southern thing.
But I'm not even like a big dessert person. Like after dinner, I'm too full to have dessert. So.
But you still
but I'll wait a beat and I have a little
did you make something
sweet.
Recently?
Girl, I made peach cobbler.
Oh, okay.
I'm so proud because we in my backyard we have a peach tree that hovers over our yard, and so oh my gosh, this tree grew the biggest, juiciest, sweetest peaches. They were so good. So my husband plucked them, and we had a few that we just ate, just the fruit itself. But then I took a few and I made a peach cobbler. Girl, it was so good.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I mean, like back to the food stuff, like I also love to cook. Like I do a lot of cooking.
Yes,
and like I've done all of it. Like I feel like I do my own stuff. I've done like HelloFresh. I've done like the little meal plans or whatever. But I love like a little homemade, like to do something. Like when I was at home one time, we went strawberry picking in Virginia because there are fields, and I came home and like made the strawberry jam because we always have strawberry jelly.
Jam?
Yeah, wait. Say in the comments if you prefer grape or strawberry, because there's a correct answer. I think
there isn't a correct answer.
Yes, there is. What?
Okay, for me, the standard go-to, like you have to have this in your refrigerator no matter what, is grape jam, not jelly,
not.
Jam. But strawberry. That's the splurge. That's the I got it, because it's a little bit more expensive in the grocery store.
No, so allow yourself out of that.
All right, I got an extra $1.
Syndrome.
Girl, no. Broke mindset. Always have grape jam
in your fridge. No, but I made that strawberry, and it's just like sugar strawberries, like some lemon. It was
good. I bet that was good.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, like pretty healthy, and that's kind of like whether you like it or not, like you can still splurge or like satisfy like cravings, but at the end of the day, like when you got to be on stage, or like within your contract, the parameters, the costumes have been built for you and you need to maintain those, then you you can only do so much. Like it's kind of in your contract to be like you are signing this and agreeing to maintain where your body is at this point. Not that they don't make alterations and stuff, but
course.
You kind of have to. That's one of the sacrifices of being a performer. So,
well, speaking of sacrifices, segue.
Another big question.
Yeah, I think one of the questions was, I'm gonna get it right exactly. So, what sacrifices have we made and had to make to work on Broadway? And when was a time that you felt like giving up? No, that was a whole nother question. No. So we're not giving up, but what sacrifices have you made and had to do and adjust and working
to
on Broadway?
being away from my family for sure. And sacrificing a big part of my social life. Because it's just the times, it's just the opposite of what you would be able to do. So you want to hang out or you want to go out and you're in at work while everybody's pre-gaming or like getting ready to go out, or they're, and by the time you get out and you're ready, they're there and they've been there and they about to head home. So it's kind of like you're kind of passing vessels. But that and sacrificing being away from my family, but it's like a double-edged there's pros and cons, because also that makes the time that you see them so much sweeter, and they get to travel and come and see New York. Like they have never really been to the city. So when my mom was like, I love the city, like and I'm like, yeah, because you don't live here full time. But that was back when I was a little bit more like wasn't comfortable. Now I like the city a lot, but before, when they get to visit and I get to take them to the places that I like, there's positives to it too, because it's like, even though you're far, like we have FaceTime, thank God, we have all these video chats and like Skype or whatever you use. I use FaceTime all the time. Zoom, you have Teleparty where you can like watch movies at the same time, and you like have a little chat box. So there's pros and cons, but I think that's probably the biggest sacrifice.
Yeah, I agree. Piggyback, definitely. Being away from family, and I'm super far. Like I left my family way back college time, and even now, having like starting my own family with children and a husband and all that stuff, you realize, I am grateful for the situation that I have at home, because my husband is in a profession that allows him to have a flexible schedule. So we are able to see each other during the daytimes when I am available. And then we have our daughter in daycare for only 3 times a week instead of the standard 5, so we get a little bit of our time in, but the reality is I hardly get to see them, unless they are up crack early in the morning or super, super late at night. Like we're just kind of almost passing each other because the schedule is just completely opposite. So I agree with you 1,000%. And even, to add, I'm thinking back to my entire dance career, like the sacrifices I made, even as a teenager, because, to go off the sacrifices socially. I just remember I wanted to do everything in school. I wanted to do cheerleading and, I did end up doing the dance team, but that's why.
Right.
But, I did run track as well, because it was in the springtime and my dance studio was closed in that season. But, just all the extracurricular activities that come within in high school or middle school, I wanted to be a part of them all. The biggest was cheerleading. And I could never be a cheerleader because it always conflicted with my dance schedule.
Dang.
And then I would have competitions, I would have to travel, and then those would be the parties or like, the school events. So yeah, I feel like, I'm sure you can even relate, like we sacrifice at a really early age socially.
I remember these bumper stickers that people had, and then shirts, and it's just,
I know exactly what you're about to say.
I have rehearsal.
Yes!
Like I was like, this is taking over the world.
Girl, it is so
true.
real.
It was true.
We love that phrase.
I have rehearsal.
Yeah, true statement. I have rehearsal. We wanted to make t-shirts out of them because it was just so real for us. Like, and thank God, I was at a studio where, we all were friends. Like we had to be friends because we didn't have any friends on the outside. So, we just kind of hung out with each other and danced together and all that stuff. We made our own little bubble of a life, a social life. So, yeah, we started sacrificing early, girl. I swear. But it's
the
paying
territory,
off.
and it pays off. especially when you're passionate about it and that's what you love.
Right.
You're like that's the whole thing is like, are you willing to sacrifice that for it, or are you gonna be like, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my notice and I'm gonna go part. Like, would I rather be, or you give yourself the chance, I think, too, to figure out, can you find a balance that makes you happy? And I feel like I'm in a place that I have and I can, but you got to give yourself like space to figure out. Yeah. So
so as I was asking the question before, I was kind of like bleeding into the second question, but it is kind of relevant. Was there ever a time where it became too much, where you almost gave up your dream? Was it too unattainable at the time, or too taxing and grueling schedules where it became too much? Has there ever been a time?
For me, no, but my career has not spanned but 2 years, really. So it's kind
of. But not even like just even in general, even as a kid, like. I'm assuming you followed musical theater, singing, acting for just about all your life.
Yeah.
So has there ever been a time in your life where it's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this anymore? Really?
I always wanted to do it. Yeah, and even I feel like too, because most of my friend group was within my arts community, so it wasn't like I was getting a pull from like people back at my homeschool, but I was with the people who I was closest with were the people who were in the arts with me. Gotcha. So it wasn't like, I wish I could go to this party, but we had a pretty decent balance, I feel like. And I really cherished the relationships that I had there. Not over the ones that I had, but we grew stronger. Also, you naturally just grow stronger most of the time with those people, because that's who you're spending all your time with. During the day, you go to school, then you go to your other arts. I mean, for me, I went to the other art school during the day, and then I'm staying with them all night because we go on dinner break, and then we have rehearsal. So we're all eating together. We come back together. We do rehearsal all night together. We ride home together. Right. So it's kind of like, so for that, in that way, for me, no, I don't think I ever reconsidered.
Gotcha. Yeah, there was a time. So I was in Georgia, elementary, middle, high school. Came to New York out of high school, college, graduated, got a job. Worked that job a few years, maybe like 4 or 5 years. And then I was, why did I end up leaving? I think I just left. I think I was just done with that. I don't know if it was a contract thing. Anyway, here nor there. There was a moment where I was not working artistically. And actually I was working out of a daycare center teaching babies dance.
Wow.
I hated it.
Oh, wow.
I hated it. And it wasn't the experience of teaching and teaching kids. It was just the people, I guess the environment that I was working in. It was kind of toxic and unhealthy. So obviously that, influenced this whole idea. It was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't want to do the artistic struggle, I don't want to be a struggling artist. And it just, I couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So I just felt like, God, there's got to be more to life than this. Because if I'm being honest, child, I wanted a nice, decent lifestyle, I'm not here trying to be rich. I mean, it'd be cute if him did, but everybody wants a decent lifestyle, and especially coming from anywhere outside of major cities, because what I have realized in traveling, major cities are really expensive, and everything outside of that, it looks more not lavish, but just it's decent and nice and manageable and clean. Right.
And you get more bang for your buck. You get so much more space for your money.
Bigger houses, bigger yards.
Garage and pool. And
right. Like the amenities start coming in. Right. Yeah. So I came from that world into the dirty, concrete jungle, struggling artists of New York City life. And to be in it and actually struggling, that was a moment where I was like, this ain't cute. I'm about to go back home. No idea what I was going to do, child.
Yeah.
But like that was a moment. It was shortly out of, it was a few years out of college.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then, I don't know, I guess the Lord heard me. And
He heard you.
He gave me an opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets dance team, and then it just grew and flourished from there.
That's the other thing I'm thinking about. As an ambitious person or somebody who likes to be on the go consistently, I think every time I've imagined going back home, it's like, I feel like I would get bored so
quickly.
Yeah. Like I don't even with all that. It's like to do what? You get drive around to Target and get a Starbucks every day and then come home. Like I don't think that for me, even if I was maybe if I had a job still artistically, even if it wasn't, but like somebody asked me that recently and it was like, would you, in a few years or 10 years or something, would you, if you had the opportunity to teach or perform, which would you prefer? And I said perform. Like I would want to perform as long as I can. Like
me too.
I think that I would want to stretch that out until I couldn't anymore. And then with all that experience, then go to teaching and then maybe settle in. But I feel like I just I like to be on the move too much.
Yeah.
Like even when they tell me to sit down, I'm like, well, I can still, do this and we got to do that. So I'm going to go. And it's like, all right. So
I'm the same. I'm the same
think
as
I could
you. Because I'm now at the end where, I feel, well, it's debatable. I think I've kind of maxed on my performing side of this profession, but I'm starting to get the questions. Okay, well, so what if you're not gonna be performing, you're gonna go on and teach, you're gonna open up a studio? And my answer is no, not really. No. I mean, honest, I feel like there are special skills for certain people.
Yeah.
And although I can teach, I have the ability, I am able to teach a class and, people will learn something. It's just not a passion appealing, of mine. Yeah. Like it's not I think appealing
you would
to
be
me.
Like, you would be a super fun teacher, but you would be the teacher who don't want to be bothered, and because of that, everybody loves you, and they're like, Miss Brown,
and then that'll get on my nerves even more.
They're like, no, just do this, just go ahead. Like I feel like you would be that type of teacher where everybody wants, but not because you're not because of lack of passion, but just like you said, that isn't necessarily the spark like performing was for you.
I always used to claim it as I just have the selfish passion for dance and performance. Like I want to do it. Yeah. I am the vessel that will share this to the world.
Yeah.
And granted, obviously if my children want to get in on that, I'm going to for sure, give them what they need and guide them. But yeah, it was never in me to teach, these type of things. And, shout out to the teachers, because even with that, everyone can't be a teacher. Everyone doesn't have that special something to instill something in somebody. So I claim mine, honey. I'm a performer before anything. I ain't trying to teach your kids. Sorry. Rude. What's the next question? So another question was, did we really need our degrees to thrive in this industry? What do you think?
I think it depends on the person. I don't think no, they're not looking on your resume to be like, does she have a BFA in music theater? But I think it comes down to what you learned. So I was able to go to an art school for 2 of the 4 years of my high school experience, but I don't think that post that I would have been like, I can just go to the big city. Like what I learned in college, I really use, and I really grew as an artist. So I don't think I necessarily I needed that learning experience. I needed that time. I don't think the quote unquote degree was like, I need that to be able to get in these rooms.
Right.
Just the same way that some people just naturally have it, and they do move at 18 and they book a Broadway show, or they, star in a lead as, whatever, in a show, or, anything.
Right.
So I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on how mature, because it's also not just what you need to learn. Like in the books, it's maturity, it's artistry, like it's what do you really want to do? Because that time, I feel like in college especially, makes you really consider like, is it worth it? Like, are you willing to make these sacrifices? Because there are sacrifices that I feel like are precursors to, similarly in school, precursors to what you're going to do in the real world. So like you said, the high school, the cheerleading, you can't do that, the partying and stuff.
You learn discipline.
Yeah, so you start learning that because you're going to have to do that in the real world.
In real life, yeah. So absolutely, I agree 100%. I think it teaches you discipline, as just as you were mentioning. It does depend on the person. I agree with you as far as their maturity level, or I don't want to actually say maturity level, but just what they can handle, what their capacity socially is. Because, some people coming fresh out of high school still needs a little bit of structure. And structure along with freedom to figure out who they are. So,
Mm-hmm.
to mold into an adult, a productive adult,
Yeah.
you need some confines with that.
And as a productive artist, to not just be able to follow the rules of the stage manager, but to be able
Yeah.
to get along with your cast, or to learn those
Right.
social skills, like
Right.
how do you
How to
get
work
along
with
in an
people.
ensemble or long rehearsal? Are you going to have a fit and just fly off the handle,
Right.
or do you know how to keep to yourself on a day where you need to just be
Yeah.
with yourself?
Yeah, and even within that, you can figure out different leadership skills that you probably didn't know you had to be maybe a stage manager or a choreographer, or someone who directs, produces. The flat out answer to the question, do I think I needed a degree for what I am doing? No. However, going right back into what you're saying, I am grateful for my college experience because it shaped and molded me in so many different ways that, on paper, I could never have gotten that. Just, well, I could have, but I probably would have been beat up and banged up from life. Right. A little different experience.
Right.
So, yeah.
The distinction between the degree and the college experience.
Yeah.
Like, do you necessarily need the paper? Like, no.
Not in this profession.
Right.
Because there are some professions where they will look at your degree, the level of how high you've gone in your education, to determine how much they pay you.
Right.
Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that, at least I can speak for the concert world, concert dance, I don't think that exists. I don't think choreographers are looking at your resume and say, oh, she has a BFA, not just a high school diploma. I'm going to give her a pay bump based off this. That, I haven't experienced that. But granted, we're not going around, discussing how much we get paid.
Right.
So anyone below, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know about Broadway. Here's what I know. I know people are paid at different rates. But coming in the door, like entry level, I don't think they are taking, BFA, BA, or MA, or any of those things in consideration when hiring or for, pay purposes.
Right.
I could be
Not
wrong.
when it comes to equity. Like if you're talking union, then you have production minimums. You have
right.
I think it does change based on maybe regional or non-equity productions when you get to like.
But then that's like membership,
right?
Like union membership levels,
right?
Right.
So I think it can change if you don't belong to the union. Then that's when things can be negotiated, or they can, switch things up. But yeah, as far as us, there's like set minimums when you belong to the union.
Right. That's what I understood. Just wanted to be clear. So yeah, I mean, to answer the question, as an artist, you can thrive straight off the street. It's all about your talents for sure. But I'm like you. I'm appreciative for my college experience because, especially coming from, the South, small town, whatever, to a big city, the North, it was a major adjustment that I needed some time to actually get acclimated. And, I needed some sort of safety net to feel safe to explore and figure me out and figure out what type of artist I am. How do I work with people? I needed that time. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting here promoting college for everybody. Like I guess my advice would be to kind of know yourself, know if school bores you, because that's the other thing too. I'm quite studious. Like I like to read and I like to learn. So just all of that was good for me. But if that's not your speed, then go on, girl. Right, go on, boy. Go on, get out there in the real world. You'll learn some lessons, but yeah.
Okay. Are you ever annoyed with people waiting at the backstage door for an autograph? And are you annoyed when a friend or fans only associate you with the character you play?
No.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, now I am an ensemble member, so it doesn't happen often for me. You find yourself coming out the door, you're like, oh my God, did you play so-and-so?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. They're like, all right, good.
But never mind, well, who did? Next. No, I'm joking. People aren't rude like that. But yeah, it doesn't happen for me often. And I just love seeing the joy in the people's eyes to see like, something that you did like inspired them or like just made them joyous and they're so excited to be there to see you. Granted, maybe not you personally, but you're part of it. So yeah, it fills me up.
I agree.
And especially like long days and you're coming out at the end of the night, you're tired, you're human being, and to see a fan, it does kind of like it brings you back like, oh yeah, this is a cool thing to do.
I agree. Yeah, outwardly like annoyed or been like, oh my god, get out of the way. Like I love to see them, and they are excited, and they don't seem to. I've never really had an experience where it's like, oh, they're looking for a specific person. Like they just seem grateful, especially coming back from COVID. A lot of shows weren't doing stage door for the first like year or so. So now that we just opened it back up, people are like, anybody like, oh, can you sign?
That
and
is true.
Even if they don't know, you'll be like, oh, I played blah blah blah, and they're like, oh wow, like it was, you were so great.
I was joking. They are always really sweet, even when it's kind of like a small slight.
I'm sure in your time there's probably been one or two. It's like. Okay. Anyway, but
hadn't happened to me personally.
But
most people are really nice about it. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. Right. They're still nice.
Right. Yeah.
What about the family one?
Friends associating
like, you are the so and so.
I don't really get. I feel like more like shy or embarrassed sometimes. Like they want to do certain things, and they'll be like, "What was the line?" And I'm like, I'm off the stage now. I'm off the clock.
Can you imagine you just spit it out?
Like I'm not doing it right now. No.
Say, Sidney, come on in here and show us that scene.
No.
Oh yeah. For me, because being an ensemble member, being a dancer, like I'm part of an ensemble often. So I play a multitude of characters, and I'm just thinking of this one moment with a really good friend of mine from high school, and she was like, "Yeah, girl, I'm so proud of you," and I kind of diminished the moment. Was like, "Girl, I don't play nothing but a little patch of grass in the back," and she was like, "What? Absolutely not! Or and if you do, you are the best patch of grass I've ever seen." So that was a cute little moment for me. It was like, I just diminished what I do, but she's like, absolutely not. I want to be a patch of grass. Yeah. I want to be a tree. Anything. So
it's really sweet.
It's sweet. Yeah. People are really supportive.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
Yeah.
So when is it appropriate to boast about your accomplishment, or is it appropriate to boast about your accomplishments? Now you are the younger generation than me, child. Y'all that's in style these days. Yeah, people run up their Instagram numbers.
Yeah. I think in promotional ways, yes, but I always prefer. Like I like to wait for somebody to. I don't know. I guess that's a way to stay humble. I guess or try to, like, not be like, well, I did. I always normally take the back seat, and people will be like, well, she's this and she's that, and I'm like, I am, and then I kind of pick it up. But I'm never like, you don't know. Hi, I'm in this show, and I'm and I'm doing this. Like I don't. Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of I don't do that either, and there's a part of me that I don't even know how to describe. I won't say jealous of, but. I don't know where to land with a word. I'm landing at admire some people who know how to assert what they do to get what they want, if that makes sense. Like I know a lot of people are like, well, yeah, of course I got in. I dropped my name. I dropped the place where I work.
Right.
It's like, well, here I am waiting in line for 2 hours.
Right. And there's time and place for that too. Like there is. Depending on where I'm at. Like if I'm with other industry people, I'm not going to be like introduce myself to what I do. Yeah. But because we will probably get to that eventually.
Of course.
But because also people I feel like can just kind of tell, like other actors or other performers or even dancers. Like I see people on the streets and I'm like, or on the subway and I'm like, oh, you're a dancer. Like I can see the way you're carrying but for day to day sometimes, like with these little parties, I'm gonna be like, oh well, I'm so sorry, I'm coming from my show.
Oh, that's how you do it. I love it.
If you're running late, quick, especially a group of people or something. Oh my gosh, I had a show. I'm so sorry, I'm on my way. They're happy to accommodate. Yeah. So that, like, every now and then it's like fun to you can toss it out.
That's where I'm like, I like that.
I'm gonna throw that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you play more to like the humble side because you're of the younger generation than me. I'm a millennial and you're a Gen Z, right? So I feel like people in your generation, like the current popular generation right now of young folks, are not afraid of talking about themselves, putting themselves out there, with social media, and there's a whole lot of promoting and influencing and all this stuff. So I feel like that's just the way for your generation. Yeah. Where you take nothing but glam shots or headshots and always posting of yourself. And this is what I'm doing today. Yeah. So, that's interesting that you're on the humble side of that.
Yeah. I think it also has to do with social media and the rise of influencer as a job. So naturally, when you grow up and seeing that, all you're gonna do is be like, oh, well, that's what we do. That's what we're all consumed with all different types of social media, and we've been watching, and like we've grown up with that. So you naturally are like, oh, well, that's just what we do. But to older generations who didn't grow up, like when I knew that my parents had typewriters in high school, I'm like, what? I've like only seen those in museums. Like you actually use that to type a paper, like for real, for real. That was wild to me. So it's like, okay, so yeah, you've lived through. So yeah, it only makes sense for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like my generation, millennials, we're kind of like in the middle of the opposite sides of the pole. So like you have like the older generation, Gen X and baby boomers, and then you have Gen Zs and younger there. But we're like in the middle where we kind of experience a little bit of both sides. So yeah, I guess it kind of shows up with me. Like I am a humble person, but for far so many other reasons,
right?
Like, for my background, and I don't know why I am so humble of a person. It doesn't even make sense with my zodiac sign. Like I'm a Libra. Like we love ourselves, we love love, we love beautiful things, we love to show out. We're very charismatic. But I'm what you would call an intro extrovert. I've mentioned this before. Like, I do love people, but I also love me time, and I have a little bit of shyness and reservations about myself that always show up. So it's been so hard for me to immerse myself in the world of like social media influencing, and I've been doing some things.
You have, yeah. You
so
push.
Yeah, but I always feel like, well, dang, I need a PR team. I need somebody, because I don't know how to promote myself, child. I don't know how to market myself. But yeah, it's so uncomfortable to me. Like I just don't know how to put myself out there.
Yeah.
So I don't boast, but I am in a lot of things, and I do have. I'm aware that I have a presence that is inviting and energetic. Like I know I invite people in all the time. I'm very much so aware of that. So I know that people know that I do things, and honestly, I just let that speak for itself.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
it's
the
been fine.
knowing is all you need to just be like tell people and if you don't, that's okay.
But low key, I'm getting to a place where that's where we are in the world right now. And I feel like if you're not constantly showing people on social media what you're doing, you're not doing anything in anyone's eyes. And then you start to internalize it. It's like, well, dang, am I a bum? But you got like I have a crazy resume here. Like I've done a lot of stuff. But because I haven't shared that, it almost makes me feel like, well, dang, it's not worth, like my self-worth is getting diminished. It's so strange. So I'm trying to like figure out how to compete, because at the end of the day, there's information. Like I like to help people, and I like to talk. Let's be honest. I think I got, a little personality that, is relatable. So there are projects that I love to do, but it gets hard because, I can produce it. I can make it all day long and create it. But I always get stuck when it comes to like pushing it, marketing, and, putting it out there. It's just not my nature. So.
Yeah. It's something to grow into too, because I think it's healthy to like, to an extent, like too much of anything isn't good. So you don't want to be so in yourself that you can't do it. You have to. It's something to grow into. I think so.
I wonder, do you think a little bit of our humility is wrapped up in the fact that we are always on and in the public eye and always getting attention?
They always say that about actors, like even that they end up being the most introverted people. I think it is because, especially when you start working professionally, you end up being on so much of the time that it just becomes hard. You just need to take a step back from that. And marketing yourself is in turn, because then you have to, because then you got to respond to the comments and all the likes and people asking questions about it. And you have to be present with them. And, so I think that might be some of the hesitation too.
Yeah. Agreed. Definitely agreed. Next question.
How does it feel working closely with those belonging to the LGBTQIA+ community?
I mean, regular is life, like they're people. I'm a person. I don't make a distinction. I wouldn't necessarily classify it as saying like you work alongside people of the LGBTQ+. What I can say is it's been a blessing, a beautiful blessing, and a eye-opening experience for me. Me coming from a place that is so closed-minded, like I'm from a southern state, a conservative state. So to come to a place like New York City that is so liberal and so colorful and bright, and to work with people who are the same as, you know, what the state represents, or this city at least represents, that's been really wonderful for me. I feel like it has added to my consciousness, my cultural and maturity. You know, it just expanded me as a human being, and I'm so proud of that. Even, you know, when I think about some of the social issues that are coming up surrounding this community and the ostracizing that's happening, you know, it totally makes me, I see them as people. I see them for, you know, you're just James, you're just, you know, so and so. So I feel for them. I empathize, because so a lot of these people have become like best friends and brothers and sisters. Like my goddaughter is the daughter of one of my best friends, and she's married to a woman in a lesbian relationship. So, you know, at this point, I've just normalized love is love, life is life. You know, there is no distinction, and I'm really proud of that. Like I don't think if I didn't leave my home state, and if I wasn't necessarily in this specific industry, I'm not sure if my eyes would have been open.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the biggest difference, I think, is that it's much more difficult to judge once you're able to see somebody's humanity. And I don't think that any of us are in a place to judge. So even if that's not the life that you live, or if that's not what you technically agree with, once you start to see people and you're able to have real life and go day to day, go through the good and the bad of working such an intense schedule, then you begin to see people's humanity, and it doesn't become such a like ostracized or such like a taboo type of thing.
100%. So great.
And that's all our questions for
that
you all.
That is it. We survived them.
Thank you. This was fun. A little more of like a hodgepodge.
Yeah, we should do this every now and then.
Yeah,
break it up a bit. All right, so game time?
Game time. Okay, so we're doing the song game, the music game.
Yes.
And we're doing it surrounding hip hop because we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop this year.
But it actually just passed. Yes, so hip hop celebrated 50 years on August 11th. So shout out. So we want to just, you know, pay a little homage, a little respect to hip hop.
You should go first.
Okay. I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. I'm not going to hum a song.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do. It's going to be more of a trivia.
Okay. I can do that.
In the hip-hop genre.
Okay.
I
hope I know, Lord.
So, hold on. Let me actually get the song up.
Lord.
Okay. So this is from... Sorry. This is from the DMX song, What These Want.
Oh,
that song. I want you to name at least 3 of the women.
With the women?
The names that he dropped in that song.
Cookie.
Okay.
I met her in the ice cream parlor. I remember that. Keisha. I'm hearing it. Lisa. Yep.
That's all right.
3.
Ding,
I'm
ding.
hearing it, but I can't.
Honey, girl, he named about 30 women.
Darnell and something.
Sorry, I broke character.
Yeah, wait. She said 5 minutes.
At least 5?
Yeah, 3 is easy.
Oh, and I think she's gonna get that.
3 is good for me, Gen Z.
Look, okay, come on, you did good work.
And I only know that because it was a TikTok trend, and women were doing different hairstyles every. There was Keisha, Lisa, Dawn. I was like, oh wow, because I almost did it.
You bet. I know.
That would be
you could do it too. Actually,
yeah.
that would be fierce. We should do it.
We should. That would be cute.
All right. So ding ding ding.
So can you list? Can you do them all? Did you look it up?
Okay. Here we go.
There was
Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Dawn, LaShawn, Inez and Alicia, Teresa, Monica, Sharon, Nikki, Lisa, Veronica, Karen, Vicky, Cookie. Well, you know, you met her in the ice cream parlor. Marina, Selena, Katrina, Sabrina. About their 3 Kims, Latoya and Tina. Shelly, Bridget, Kathy, Rashida, Kelly, Nicole, Angel, Juanita, Stacy, Tracy, Rona, and Rhonda. Is it Rona? Donna, Yolanda, Tawana, and Wanda.
Whew. Was Keisha in there?
Girl.
I don't
Wait,
know
was
Keisha
it?
was. I'm thinking. I don't remember.
I thought I did say Keisha.
It is? Okay.
Oh, maybe it's Letitia. I see a Letitia.
Well, we'll count it anyway.
We'll count Letitia.
That
he ran crazy through some women.
But that's really smart because we love to hear a shout out, and like whether it's my name, whether it's my city, like my zip code down south, I'd be like, hey, what's that song? It's like I can't remember it, but it's that song. It's like,
oh, you're talking about Ludacris.
Is it
area codes?
Does he do area codes, or there's one that's like if you want to go and take a ride?
Oh, that's Nelly's
song. Yeah, where it's like east side. Oh my gosh,
I don't know. I don't know.
It has something at the end, and it's like, if you on the east side and it, south, and I'm like,
I know you wait to hear yours, right? You wait to hear either your area code or your location. Low key though, we never heard ours because we were a little small town.
No, not my area code, but
we
like
claimed
the
Atlanta.
south. I'll be like, okay, down south. Even though I'm not really south.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a really good one. Now I want to do a trivia type of thing.
Okay.
I don't know what I would do.
Ooh, I got one for you too. I got one for you to give to me.
Right, but you don't. Okay,
I'm just gonna do it.
Okay.
You
Let me just do two today, maybe then, or you're gonna give it to me.
No, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
You're gonna
ask you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
I guess it's just gonna be my segment.
Yeah, it's just you today. The next week I'll give you double, and we'll do it again. Okay.
Okay. So, same thing, different song.
Okay.
Drake. I forgot the name of the song. Name the three girls. Do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never leave. Name three names.
Do you love me?
Okay, you got the first one, Kiki. Well, and maybe was it three? It might have just been two. No, I'm like
JT.
Okay, it is three. It's more than three actually. All right, got one more.
Do you love me? I don't know.
Kiki, JT, Lucretia. You remember?
Lucretia. Oh.
Yeah, from City Girls. So he was talking about the City Girls with
Girls.
JT and Cretia.
Oh.
Lucretia. Is it Lucretia?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me make sure, honey, actually. What's the name of that song? Do You Love Me?
Do you love me? Are you riding?
Okay. Oh, no, it's a lot. Wait, it's Kiki, it's KB, it's Risha, and it's JT.
Okay.
Who is KB? Anyway,
I don't know.
If y'all know who KB is.
All types of women in his songs.
But I do know JT and Cretia
are City Girls.
Yeah, those are the City Girls because they were featured on that.
Please don't let it be Keke Palmer. I don't need no more drama.
I'm so mad at Keke Palmer. I love me some Keke Palmer, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad at her. I think I actually mentioned this on another podcast, but it's still with my spirit. I wanted to go see Usher. So bad.
Tickets are
and now the tickets are crazy high because that whole Keke Palmer fiasco.
We gotta make it happen though, because I've been wanting to go to Vegas residency. I wanted to see Silk Sonic so bad.
Oh my god, I heard
that one was so good. Like, and they took your phone, so it was a whole experience. I would have done anything to go see that.
My husband and I saw Bruno Mars in concert, and that was a sight. Like with him and his musicians back up then, right? Like even that alone was good. So I can imagine
him and Anderson
Silk Sonic. Oh my gosh,
gosh.
So good.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, thanks for playing.
Shout
out to hip hop. Happy 50 years.
All right. Tithes and offering.
Tithes and offerings. So I feel like we've kind of run up the episode a little bit here. So we won't stay too long with the tithes and offerings this week. I'm just going to keep it simple and kind of on brand with what we were discussing a little bit earlier. You asked about my hair and skin routine. So an offering I have today is so simple. It applies to like when you're putting on your makeup. One thing that helps, like, with your eyeshadow, like you want a bold, vibrant color, on your lid, you want it to show through. One thing that I do to make sure that, I get like the most vibrant color from my palette, I spray my brushes with water and then I dip it into the eyeshadow. Right? It helps make it pop. It kind of like packs on the pigment. So, yep. So spray your brushes if you want your colors to pop even more. And if not, then just go dry.
Be dry, no. No, that's good. That's cute. Yeah, I like the theme of like for this week's Ties and Offerings being a little bit more on like the side of beauty and skincare and all that.
What you got?
This is difficult. This is simple, but just get your hair trimmed because especially if you're natural.
Yeah.
I know people would be scared to cut their hair, but the trim makes
the
curls
right. It helps with the hair growth.
Like even if you got to look up a little YouTube video and do your own little thing,
yeah,
a trim will really get you locked in. Like whether you have color or whatever.
Absolutely,
that's my thing. Get your trim. This is if nothing else, it's just a reminder to get your trim.
Especially if you're on a hair growth journey, like that is very important. Like if you want it to grow, you're gonna have to like unclog the ends.
Yeah.
So you got to get it trimmed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go off on a little rant real quick. Here's the thing that I don't like about getting your hair done professionally in hair salons these days. Divas will trim, literally snip a little bit of your hair and call it a haircut so they can put it at the haircut price. Ooh. And the haircut price is expensive.
Yeah, it is. That's crazy because somebody did the opposite to me. I went in and thought I was getting a haircut and she only charged me for trim. And I said, thank you, queen.
Praise be for her. Okay.
She really, yeah.
Yeah, she
took
care
that sucks.
Of you.
Yeah,
people really be doing that in the hair
And the
salons.
dusting isn't even, like when I say trim, I want like a good inch off because you might as well just take it off. Like,
it's either that or if you simply ask for a trim, like they will cut, like chop up a whole lot of hair. It's like, well, wait a minute now. I didn't ask for a pixie. So, come on now, hairstylists. Now, y'all be nice to us. When we say trim, like really just trim to clip the ends, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
But that's it.
That's it, yeah. This has been another episode of Social Cues.
You guys know what to do. If you want to keep following us, you go ahead and press that bell on YouTube or you subscribe to any of our social media accounts or any of the podcasts where you listen and just stay locked with us because we got some great stuff that's continuously coming. We appreciate you. Always remember, continue to make your stage cues, but always remain social.
I'm Sydney.
I'm India. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Social Cues is hosted by India Brown and Sydney Wilson. Produced by Dale Brown and music by Isaiah Young.
Find us on social media at SocialQ2023 on Instagram and SocialQs2023 on TikTok.
Don't forget to subscribe to our page and follow us for notifications of new episodes.
Until next time.